one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage, all got perspective. It's a collective. Get to the bottom what the truth is, with our hearts uncovered. Boy, detox from all of the lies you smothered. When I'm trying to kill you, but with faith you recover. Yeah, peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's an art tool. Reflect on all the juice like torture. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah, we about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Listen. Yeah, aim in the fit so you see in the mirror. Play with your focus and watch it get clear. Polish your crown, turn it up if you wear it. You live in the root, release what you're fearing. And watch it all rise, the righteous will hear it. They calling us twisted, I'm not even caring. Because it's unseen, the mind is too barren. They won't even heal it, they pass it to cheering. We over here healing, conversing and listening. Know that the truth isn't always appealing, but end it with healing and find your beginning. Frequency positive, what you receiving. Perception is up to you, what you believing. What you retrieving, mentally speaking. Life that they breathing, no words from a heathen. Don't know it all, but together undefeated. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the tribe with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the tribe with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen, hey. Yeah. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Praying for truth cause the world is so fickle. Keeping my mental how clean as a whistle. Attention's a trap, they can lead you astray. Steering this ship through the storm and the haze. Real conversations are lost in the greed. Others get lost in the web that it weaves. Sift through the rhetoric, uncover schemes. Knowledge inherited, this is imperative. I got a lot on my mind and I'm sharing it. Apples to oranges, it ain't no comparisons. I'm the type that'll never break character. I'm the type to make memories and cherish them. Trust intuition and doubt of disparity. Pursuing the echoes of wisdom. Chasing that moment of clarity. Conversation, rather one if you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation, rather one if you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. Who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen.
It's on you, tell the truth.
Peace, everyone. I am Universe Doctor.
And I'm Moon Tortoise.
I'm Marley.
And this is
Is this blue? Oh my goodness! Sorry, you became blue, baby.
Live and in action, person.
So, where the comments are is considered the private chats. When you want to comment, you have to search for it says comment, not private chat.
Ah. And then definitely press the little X when you get out of stream.
That makes so much more sense.
So, words that bully, and we have Kendall. Love Chops.
Is this thing on? Oh, hi. I'm here.
Oh, that was beautiful.
So, the words that wound, bullying doesn't age out. So let's say kids can be cruel, yet The truth is, cruelty doesn't grow up. It just finds new ways to hide. Bullying doesn't end when we leave the playground. It follows people into workplace, relationships, and even home. The words may change, yet the pain feels the same. Tonight on the People's Podcast, we're talking about the kind of bullying that doesn't get talked about. The adult kind, the children kind, the kind from mass and ugliness. The silent emotional kind that makes people question their worth, their purpose, and sometimes their will to stay. This episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Shimmerwood CBD seltzers, crafted to calm your mind, soothe your body, and remind you to breathe through the moments that feel heavy. Use our promo code, The People, to get your 30% off the next order, because healing starts when we stop pretending we're okay and start speaking of the truth about the words that leave behind. This is the People's Podcast with the ears that will listen and where your opinion matters. Grandson, talk about bullying.
Okay, so a lot of people already know bullying is bad. It can help, or it doesn't help, but people make other people feel bad about themselves, and they make them feel like they're not worthy enough for this and that, and it sometimes if it gets too much, it can be known as mental abuse, especially if they hide it. It doesn't help, and apparently a good most of suicide is from mental abuse rather than physical abuse, torture, or any other methods of abuse or any type of way. So bullying can not help as much as some people think that it can. They think that letting it out on others would help them. It doesn't. Please don't try it.
Welcome, SGF Graham.
Peace, peace. How you doing?
All is truly well. So we're going to start off with, how do you personally deal with people who use words to try and tear you down, grandson?
I try and express how that makes me and how it could make others feel. Let them know. Let them try. I try to convince them and let them know how I'm feeling, and that it could lead to other people feeling even worse, especially if they're already dealing with bullying. So I try and deal with that the best way I can to help them, and let them know what's actually going on and what can happen from bullying.
Okay. I saw something on Facebook, and one time this girl, she said to her son, because her son kept calling his sister annoying, she said, do not call her that, because she is not annoying. She may annoy you, but that's a feeling that you're having within you. When you take your feelings and you put them on somebody else and give them that agreement, then that's going to affect her when she gets older, because she's going to think that she is annoying when she's not. So you can tell her what she's doing is annoying you, but that's your feelings. When you speak on your feelings, don't put a name to that and label her that. And I loved that, because I think that a lot of adults need to hear that. Not just children. I think adults could actually benefit by hearing the fact that words hurt. And don't put how you're feeling with a title and giving that to somebody else, because that's not fair. Moon Tortoise, when you think of the word bullying, what's the first image in memory that comes to your mind?
Well, the first thing was I said before the podcast, I showed these kids. I was in like grade school, like first, second grade, I don't know. And third grade was really hard for me. I showed these kids my books, and they called me really rough stuff. It was the first time I heard of a lot of words that they called me. And I realized that reading and stuff that was going on in my house was not going to be cool. I even lumped piano lessons into that too. So somehow piano lessons were bad, but look at Billy Joel and all them. So yeah, that was like the first instance, and it put me on a path of trying to actually just kind of adhere to people, even liking sports and stuff I didn't like, just to kind of pander to them. Because I saw it.
So welcome, War and Peace Lily. You just happened to join, so you're the next to get the question.
Okay.
So how did bullying in your younger years shape the person that you become as an adult?
Say the first part of the question again.
How did bullying in your younger years shape the person you become as an adult?
I heard bowling. Okay.
Bullying.
Bowling.
I don't know if it's completely shaped me. There was the bullying when I was a kid. It was often subtle, more so than overt. And it came in multiple directions. At school, I was considered weird and eccentric and loud and opinionated. And that sometimes led to me not always having a lot of friends. And so I think that's impacted my self-worth. I think that criticism may not be exactly bullying, but there was a lot of criticism that I grew up around. And so I think that made me, I think that it manifested two ways at different parts of my life. I think in some ways it made me more defiant in who I am. And at other times it made me retract.
Okay. SGF Graham, have you ever been bullied by someone who claimed they have loved you?
I ain't never been bullied.
Period.
No offense. I came up as the bully killer. It was a tick in me every time I saw somebody getting bullied. One, I couldn't understand why they just wouldn't hit them in the mouth and get it over with. And then I wind up being the one hitting them in the mouth and getting suspended. but just because I can't understand it, and then at the same time, come bully somebody that actually will fight you back. Whatever know, mentally, physically, whatever it is, come bully me. And I never got bullied, so I wouldn't know how to answer that question.
Okay. Kendall, what's one experience that still lingers? Something someone said that you never forgotten?
Oh boy. I think the word mistake kind of haunted me when I was a kid, especially by your own family members saying, "Oh yeah, you're always a mistake." I'm like, "Am I really?" Because you're the one that conceded me. So I'm like, "Well, it is what it is." But I didn't believe it afterwards till after how many years it kept on repeating itself in the same cycle, and I refused to believe it until one point I just like, yeah, I had enough of it. So I kind of broke that cycle from being called certain names, and it doesn't bug me anymore. So especially when it comes to types of family bullies, I would say. It's just one of those things where you got to learn how to ignore those type of languages as well for how they have the gestures with it. So it's a whole other dilemma for how can you go around it.
Yeah. DDH, how has your view of yourself changed because of what others have said or done?
I think if anything, the only thing that has ever got said to me that I really took in is that I wasn't doing good enough, or in something, because that motivated me to do better. Really, I really can't say that anything has really affected me like that much, except for being told I can do something better.
Okay. So for me, it says, do you believe verbal and emotional bullying can hurt more than physical bullying? Why or why not? And I say yes. And the reason and why is because you can't unhear something. Once something has been said to you, regardless whether they apologize, retract it, whatever, you can't unplay that in your mind. It's always playing over and over, living rent free. You can heal from somebody's, you can heal from what they've done to you physically. You can't unhear that. And that breaks down your morale, your inner thought of self, because you think that, did I deserve that? Is that really who I am? And you start questioning who you are. So I do honestly, I think that verbal is an emotional bullying can hurt way more than physical bullying. Yes. Grandson, have you ever blamed yourself for the way someone treated you?
I think I have at least twice. Because every now and then, I forgot if it was during the live or not, but I remember. So I said not too long ago that like in third grade was the most was the time that I got bullied, and at like during that time, a lot of things would happen to them, and they would take that. They would think that I did something to make that happen for them. So they would cause more of it, and then they would make me think that I was the one that caused it, and then I started to believe that for a while as well. So it really didn't help the situation I was in third grade.
Okay. Moon Tortoise, why do you think people bully others? Is it insecurity, power, or pain they haven't faced?
Why do people bully others? I think there's a bunch of reasons. I think a lot of it stems from at home. I think a lot of it can be linked to abuse situations where they're lashing out. They can't get any help at home. And there's just, you look at people who are privileged and just say they're privileged, they don't come from anything like that, and they're still just mean. Well, that's teaching. That's the other part of it. I think it becomes passed down. I think a lot of these things, I think bullying is different for different genders. We'll just keep it that. And it stays in the same roots, but a lot of it is based on kind of societal views, and if you're meeting those or not. And I'm really curious as to if it's still, Marley, you can answer at any point during this, do you think it's a huge problem in your school? Yes or no is fine.
Yes.
Okay. That's what I want to know. Your opinion matters. Thank you for sharing. And Liz Delane says, thank you for sharing, Marley. That's it.
So War and Peace, Lily. How do you separate accountability? How do you separate accountability from judgment when confronting someone who bullies?
Could I actually say something about the last question too? Because I think there's a lot more reasons that people bully. I think that people bully because it's acceptable. If you look at the way that we talk to each other online, and particularly people that we disagree with, it's not uncommon to call people idiots or stupid who disagree with us, or monsters. I think people bully because when somebody is made to look less than human, when somebody is made out to be a monster, people think that they have a right to treat them as so. As far as the other question, ask that again.
How can we separate accountability from judgment when confronting someone who bullies?
Well, for me, it's an interesting question because one of the things that I still haven't totally given up on, but it's been really hard for me to work on, is that I think that sometimes there does need to be a judgment made, and I'm not talking about a moral judgment or ethical judgment or something like that. I'm talking about a legal judgment. I believe that bullying, particularly in abusive relationships, and the type of bullying you were talking about, verbal and emotional bullying, can lead to long-term mental health crisis. It can lead to physical illnesses, particularly autoimmune disorders and diseases. It can lead to further problems and further isolation because it affects the way the person being bullied is interacting with other people. It, as well as it can create a perception around the person being bullied that there must be something wrong, and therefore people are more prone to treat them as though there's something wrong with them. So I think that it's one thing if somebody is just doing it ignorantly, they're not aware, or they're having a hard time in their life, and they may say or do things that are sort of uncharacteristic. But when you have a person who this is their character, this is what they do, this is how they behave, they do it intentionally, and they have a motive at play. Accountability needs to come through judgment. And I'm not talking about public judgment. I think that what we do to people in the media, particularly cancel culture, is awful. But legal judgment, I think that's another story.
SGF Graham, how do gender roles and culture expectations influence how bullying shows up in adulthood?
Can I get another question?
Do you believe society glamorizes toughness to the point where vulnerability feels weak?
I don't know. Maybe before the age of Aquarius came in, yeah, everything was super tough. But I see at least my algorithm. I can't speak for nobody else's algorithm. My algorithm is showing vulnerability. My algorithm is people preaching vulnerability. So I cannot speak for nobody else's algorithm and what they look at and what come across their screen. That speaks on what they look at, no matter what they speak and preach.
Kendall, do you want to take the one? How do gender roles or culture expectations influence how bullying shows up in adulthood?
I could be fully honest and say it sucks, but that's just my opinion right there. Honestly, I don't know how to answer that one properly. It's just one of those things where you learn how to deal with it on different terms, whether it's avoidance or not avoidance. You stand up for yourself for what's right, and it's never right. And it's just one of those things where you just keep on trying to the point you're like, well, what else can I do?
Okay. DDH, how has the rise of social media changed the way people bully or shame others?
It's another way that you can do it. If it's not face to face, you can do it like as it was mentioned earlier, you can do it on the comments, and it's really, really common that if somebody doesn't agree with what you say on social media, they'll try to tear you down, call you names, and sometimes it cuts deep. Like, wow, you don't have no idea or know anything about me, and you saying these nasty things. So, and I just think it gives room for a lot of people who may only be able to do it behind the computer to do it.
So grandson, even though DDH kind of said similar to what this question is, I want to ask you this. Do you think people realize how much their online comments can damage someone's mental health?
I don't think they completely realize it, but it's hard to find people who do know that like the problems that it can lead to, but I don't think that they completely like realize what it can actually do to other people's lives and how it can greatly affect them and what they do in life.
Okay. Because you talked about cyberbullying before we were online or before we were live. And what's the rise of that in your school?
I've noticed a lot of people that say they've been bullied, they would show like different signs of how they used to be like more playful, but now they're like over here chilling on their own. And it's obvious that it's not actual bullying, meaning that somebody's cyberbullying throughout the entire day, and it's causing effects on their lives.
Okay. Moon Tortoise, should social platforms be held more accountable for the hate that they allow to be spread?
That's a doozy to ask me. Well, now we're getting into what the platforms, because the platform really, it says that people are, I can't say what I want on Facebook. I mean, no, the weird robot dude who makes it says the rules. I mean, you can probably say a lot if you word it craftily. And I will add this, Marley, who just disappeared, but he'll hear it at some point. I am so glad that I didn't have Facebook in school. I don't know what the heck that's like, but I'm an adult, and honestly, at this point, I'd rather peel my corneas off with a grapefruit spoon than look at Facebook anymore, because it's awful. It's beyond bullying. Everyone's just, it's rough out there. So, yeah, I think if you get into starting to go after people on social media, what do? You kick them off social media? You can kick them off social media. Will the Facebook police show up at your door with high-stepping boots on going, hey, did you say this on this day? Put it in and find your bag. Yeah, I don't want to get it with the Facebook taser. I don't want to get it with the Instagram taser. That's a good question.
Yeah. So, War and Peace, Lily, how can we help someone who's being bullied without making them feel weak or pitied?
I think standing by their side. I think not ostracizing them. I think letting whoever's bullying them know that they're not alone. And that doesn't mean by bullying the person back. It just means by saying, look, this is somebody that we value, and you're not going to do that. And I think that we can even do that online. We can even come to somebody's aid if we see someone in, bullying someone in comments or whatever. We can even come to their aid there. We can do it with strangers out in public. We can do it with our friends, and we should definitely do it with our family, because I think one of the things that makes somebody who's been bullied disempower themselves eventually is the feeling that not only am I being bullied, but nobody cares. So making sure that you know that somebody cares. And I think that we can also maybe start to look at how algorithms are formed, because the truth is that it's not just the people who have the social media platforms. It's the algorithms that want to incite strong emotion because they get a lot of interaction. And yeah, and I think just deciding what you're going to take part in too. I mean, there's a lot of things that I used to watch that I now question how I feel about watching those things anymore. And so being the example in what you do.
Okay. SGF Graham, I don't know. Do you want to answer this one? What are some ways we could teach kindness and empathy in the workplace and the communities?
Communication. Everything revolves around communication. I'm pretty sure I can give a bunch of little side answers, but I feel like people communicate, and communication also deals with listening and comprehending. And if you don't comprehend it, if you're not comprehending, then ask. That's all the realm of communication. I feel like if all of that is taking place, the niceness happen. I've literally seen at my job or whatever where somebody was picking on somebody and they went into the team's group and they was like, hey, I didn't like that. That made me feel a certain type of way. And nobody says that again or whatever. In fact, it's actually a thing at my job. So, people know how to operate with people. So.
Kendall, how can we, or what's, where am I? Oh, how do we heal from the internalized voice of bullying, the one that lives inside us after the words stop?
That's a good question. Honestly, I don't know how to answer that. The fact I'm still learning how to stop those inner voices, especially when you're self-doubting on your own terms on a daily basis. And then you just try to be there for everyone else too on top of that. So I'm like, well, how do you back away from it? How do you stop those inner situations that you don't want to deal with, So it's a little bit tricky to answer, to be honest. So
what's one thing you learned?
Being honest with yourself, with your own opinions, and you're allowed to you have that power to stop it. You're allowed to say no when you need to say no. Learn to back away and walk away.
Okay. DDH, what's your message to someone listening right now who feels like they can't take anymore?
Talk to somebody about it, and because when you talk to somebody about it, it helps. That's the starting process, at least. And then always remember. I think growing up in school, I would get mad, and I didn't like bullies either myself. But I always remembered that whatever somebody say, that really don't affect me, because almost all the time when they say stuff, it's not true, and it's something that they have to fix within themselves. So yeah, but I would always say, if it's getting to you, to recognize that risk and speak to somebody about it.
My question is, how can we transform the pain from bullying into a source of strength or purpose? I love this for myself. I've learned recently to put up healthy boundaries, and I can't please everyone. And at the end of the day, if I don't feel that within myself, and that's something they feel within them, I will go in front of them and do this and say that this is something they must be mirroring within themselves. And I take that and I realize that that agreement cannot become mine, and I will not allow that to become mine and put that label upon me because of how you're feeling right now, that you're not able to express yourself properly and you're hurting, so you feel like you have to hurt me is not fair. And I will not allow that to become my pain. So for me, putting up healthy boundaries and learning that this too shall pass and to separate myself from it. Grandson, what responsibilities do you as a bystander, what responsibilities do bystanders, not you, what responsibilities do bystanders have when they are witnessed bullying happening?
The responsibilities for the ones bullying or the ones getting bullied?
If they witness somebody getting bullied, what responsibility do you think they have?
Well, they could either let them know the impact that it has on the person's life, or they can, like, which isn't much done. And then on the other hand, you have, they could just watch it happen, and it could gradually affect the person's life, causing illnesses, like different things to make you think down on yourself. And it's like up to them basically to say, hey, this has a great impact on their life. Try not to do that to people, because it can cause like great damage on their life and what they end up doing.
So do you believe that everybody has a responsibility to speak up?
Yes.
Okay. Moon Taurus. How do we teach children that their words have power, not just in school, although for life?
It's we need a collective effort, but then the kid can go home and get reconditioned. I don't know what it's like now. I think a lot of it stems from at home. I really liked the last question. I do. I think leading by example. I just
Your signal's going in and out at this present moment. Try it again.
Yeah, I got a phone call. People call me during the podcast. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I just want to say too that leading by example is important, because Joey and I were in a McDonald's once, and this dude was chasing his girlfriend into the women's bathroom, and he was about to, he was huge, right? And he was about to beat the living crap out of her. And my brother and I stepped up, and Joey actually got up in his face this time, looking up at him. And this dude would have folded Joey for sure. And Joey's like, you're going to get the police called. You're going to hurt her. It looks like she loves you. And there's this big crying match. And then he ended up actually going, wow, I'm being terrible. And the situation got diffused, and they both ended up going their separate ways. But, he was really blowing up and nasty. And then when someone actually cared and listened to him and got aggressive and then got caring, that got shut down. And maybe she didn't get assaulted today. It was shut down, a huge situation. So yeah, it works, and the more we do that in front of people, the more people are going to see that it works. Yeah, John.
War and Peace, Lily. How can forgiveness of others and ourselves play a part in true healing process?
That's a hard one for me to answer. And it's a hard one for me to answer because I've always forgiven people. often without holding them accountable. And the ones I haven't, it's because they're still doing it. And you know, shame is not a helpful thing in the long run for anybody. It's one thing, you know, like the situation that Moon Tortoise explained, for somebody to in that moment realize what they're doing. But then if that were to continue, if they were to continue to bash him, if they were to continue to put shame on him, if they were to continue to, my guess is it wouldn't lead to a better situation. That's a hard one for me to answer.
Okay. SGF Graham, what does true emotional maturity look like when handling conflict and criticism?
Calm for me. Regardless what anybody feels about my calmness is always what I'm gonna revert to first, because I like to really know what's really going on right now. I try not to really pay attention to what's going on, but I try to figure out the intention and the energy. Like, is this somebody going through their feelings and I'm just their target right now? Is this intentional? You know, I have to pause and sit back before I react, because if I react, I'm always gonna react like it's an exact intentional moment, and it's gonna go all the way to the other side, because I guess the paranoia of the things I've seen when people have just let things slide to the wayside and they didn't understand that that person was very serious. And I don't ever want to get caught like that, but at the same time, I just get quiet now, whatever, so I can understand the intentions before I react.
Okay. Kendo, if you could go back and talk to your younger self, what would you tell them about words and worth?
I would basically tell them don't believe what they say because it's never true.
Okay. And what about worth?
Worth is when you're knowing your self-worth for being worthy enough, because you are worthy enough. No matter what people will tell you otherwise, just don't listen to them. You have to listen to yourself first.
I'm going to ask everybody this question. What does a world, I'm going to start with you. What does a world without bullying look like to you?
Happiness, people not worrying about what other people say about them, and just a lot more smiles and a lot less people getting that worthless feeling and feeling like they don't have no reason to be here. So, yeah.
What? Oh, go ahead. I apologize.
I would like to say that a lot of the numbers of the unaliving would go down, because that seems to be a huge factor in why people do it.
So for me, a world without bullying looks like proper communication, being able to understand and understand each other without agreements, and their own perspective, their own opinions thrown in. I think it would be almost a utopia. People will love one another correctly without hatred. And I believe hurt people do hurt people. Grandson, what does a world without bullying look like to you?
don't know what that was. It would probably be like there would be a lot less us. There would be a lot less depression, a lot less mental illnesses. There would be a lot more positivity. A lot more people would get along. It would basically be a utopia, like someone else said.
Me.
I agree.
Okay. And I'm just going right across because now that people back out and changed, when Moon Tortoise got kicked out, next to me now, or next to grandson is Kendall. So, Kendall, what does bullying look like to you? A world without bullying look like to you?
Oh, that's a hard one. I'm so immune to it. It's not even funny these days. So I'm just like, well, that's that. No, I lied. Without the bullies, it'd be more peaceful. Without the conflicts, no judgmental situations, no criticism, the arguments. It's very unnecessary. And just people trying to be more understanding for what you're going through and give more grace. You don't always have to be so quick to respond with every little detail for what we say and do. So that being said, less is better.
Moon Tortoise, what does a world without bullying look like to you?
Soups would be flavorless. No, that's what I keep hearing. No, I'd be riding a unicorn around. I'd be throwing pixie dust everywhere, and it wouldn't rain at all every day because it would be impossible. But the beautiful thing is, I think we could actually turn bullying, which is a negative thing, into back what is normal, which is hazing each other. Because I think it's part of humanity to haze each other, like to look at your buddy and say, "You suck at football." And then you're like, "Yeah, you suck." And then you throw the ball back and forth at each other. But it's different to say, pull someone aside and go, "Look, you suck at this sport. You quit, you go home, and never come back." I noticed that most bullies, most lawyers and stuff were bullies. I've noticed that from kids in high school. And that says a lot about society. So, quit rewarding it. And we can turn it back into normal human interaction again. But at this point, it's out of control. It is out of control. It's wild.
War and Peace Lily, what does a world without bullying look like to you? Okay. No.
Very quiet.
SGF Graham.
I thought, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I thought my mic was on. Okay, sorry. I just said a really amazing thing and you all missed it. Probably the most profound thing that's ever been said, and now it's gone. So, oh well to that. I did want to say, Moon Tortoise, you used the example of the difference between hazing and as part of your example, you said, and as a, joking around saying you suck at football, ha ha ha, you suck too, as opposed to pulling somebody off the field and saying you quit or you suck, you should go home. Because I've received a lot of that. As suggestions I should go into the woods, suggestions I should be by myself, suggestions I should not have relationships, suggestions I should not go certain places, suggestions I should leave an entire state. So those things happen all the time. And what would a world without bullying look like? To me, it would look like freedom to exist. Long after you stop interacting with somebody that you're bullying, you still interact with them in their lives and in their mind. And there's a lot of incredible people that the world will never get to know unless we make a change in our value system, particularly around how we treat other people, even people that we don't like or don't agree with.
So when people talk, I have a confession, War and Peace Lily. When people talk, your phone has a feedback, so I have to mute your mic. So when it comes to you, you may have to always unmute it.
Oh, I know that. I just didn't.
Okay. I was
It's
gonna
cool.
say, I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
no. I'm aware of how it works. I just
okay. So I want to suggest real quick though, because I forgot to say this. I think that a world without bullying would leave a lot of authenticity. I think that people would be able to be them without judgment, without hurt, without worrying of what somebody else would say or do. I think we would have a lot of authenticity. People would be able to be true to themselves. And I think a lot of people are not able to stay true to themselves because of being judged. So, SGF Graham, what would a world without bullying look like to you?
I mean, like I agree with Henry hand. I agree with him. You know that the lawyers come from bullying mostly. Your favorite comedian probably was a class clown, aka Little Bully. I honestly might not even know what the definition of bullying is, because I think bullying is when somebody is consistent with what they say or do, not just if they called me stupid one time or idiot one time or something. I wouldn't think that was bullying. I would think, okay, you keep saying the same thing or whatever. You trying to get a certain reaction out of me or whatever. That's when I consider it bullying, or internet wise or whatever. I see it very triggering. When I read comments, of course, none of the comments be aimed at me, but I'll be sitting there thinking, oh, they're trying to get excitement. Where they're hoping that they go viral and get a bunch of people to tag their name and argue with them. People take fame any type of way now or whatever, and virility is such an addiction, going viral, that they'll do it negatively just as they will positively.
Mm-hmm.
So
So they ask, what do you think the People's Podcast community can help make that vision real? We do it every Tuesday and Thursday by giving people a safe place without judgment to be authentic. And we show love. We don't just talk about it. We actually show it for one another. That's my opinion. So we're gonna do positive quotes real quick, and then I'll do the outro. So we're gonna go to, now that we got more people flipping around, we're gonna go to Kendall, positive message, and you have a whole bunch. I don't know if that's your positive message. Okay, no.
I honestly don't know what to say with positivity. Keep going and moving forward, and don't trip into thin air. You got this.
Positive message, War and Peace Lily.
positive message. If you find yourself in a situation where you're not able to escape what's happening, know that somebody is eventually going to see, or somebody already sees. And there are people that are working on or will work on a way to get you out. But it can make it look like the whole world is that way. And it's not. You can just hang in.
Positive message, grandson.
All right. no matter what you do or say, there might be a lot of people trying to tear you down, trying to take down what you believe. But no matter what, keep trying. You are worth it. You are worthy. Keep on spreading out the love that you give and stay being you. Don't change who you are because of what someone said.
Ah, Shay, that's my DNA. SGF Graham positive message.
Positive message. If you're working on yourself, keep going. If you loving you, keep going. And don't let nobody make it seem like you're being selfish because you're loving yourself. You are just as important as everybody else. And once you begin to love yourself, you will have no choice but to exude that love back out. You, for the most part, I haven't ran across a person that truly loved themselves and they're selfish. They almost want to show you how much they love themselves to the point that they help you with everything, whatever, just to show you. So it might be their own little bragging rights, but let them help you or whatever. Become who you are. You're worth it. You know you are. It doesn't matter what anybody else say. And people say harsh things, and they do stick around in your head even when you least expect it, whatever. But that's when it comes to you reminding yourself how good you are. Every single time it pop up, you remind yourself twice how good you are.
Mm-hmm. Moon Tortoise.
Positives?
Yes.
Okay. So bullying and hazing, which it's supposed to be, but it's got out of control. I go off on that. Is a kind of a weird little inoculation booster shot to prepare you for how ugly life is. I don't even think that's enough sometimes. But the first thing you're going to want to do is actually hone your brain razor sharp, no matter what they say. Just do everything you can to make yourself smart. Because the thing that sets us apart from animals and claws is our brain. And then I promise you, if you get smart enough, you will be able to outsmart these idiots, and they might even end up on your couch partying with you in the future. Now, it's crazy the way things work out. Then the second and third thing, two last things I'm going to tell you is learn martial arts, one or two martial arts. I suggest grappling and striking. And then two, act like you don't know martial arts. That's my positive message.
DDH, what's your positive message?
No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. And by that, that is what it say. You whatever you say, I don't have to agree with it. This one taught me that. This lady sitting right next to me. So I think I'll leave it at that.
Pain grows people, yet love transfers them. The universe heard every tear and turned it into wisdom. Just because they said it doesn't mean you are it. So, with that being said, words carry weight. They can wound or they can heal. Too many people are walking around bleeding from invisible bruises that came from someone else's mouth. If that's you, please remember you are not what was said about you. You are not the lie someone tried to make you believe. You are strength, you are love, and you are still becoming. If you are listening tonight and you've ever felt like you couldn't take another hit from life, just stay. The world needs you, and it needs your light, your story, and your present. Healing takes time, yet it begins when it's your choice to believe you still matter. Tonight's episode is sponsored by Shimmerwood CBD Seltzers, crafted to calm your mind and help you breathe through the heaviness. Take a moment for you, sip slow, and use our promo code, The People, to get you 30% off your next order. This has been the People's Podcast with the ears that will listen and where your opinion matters. Until next time, speak life, stand tall, and remember, kindness counts nothing or costs nothing, yet it can save everything. And next week, Moon Tortoise is going to talk about their journey.
Kim, may I say something real quick? I know we just ended it, but you know, you say words are powerful, and I agree. And people keep saying that hurt people, but some of the people that have been the kindest to me have been people that have been hurting themselves. And some of the times that I've been the kindest was because I knew what it was like to hurt, or because I was hurting. And when we keep getting this idea that if we're hurt, we're going to be a danger to others, I think that silences people in a whole new way. And nobody gives permission for the hurt that somebody gives them, ever. It's not permission.
Okay. Thank you for that. Grandson, does she want to say something? Does she want to say something, grandson?
No, she just wanted to join.
Oh, okay. Well, we're wrapping it up. Next time. May your night be full of positive energy and high vibrations. Remember, you are worthy and loved. Peace and love, everyone.
Peace, peace.
Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people. Rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective. It's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is. Where the heart's uncovered. Where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. When them tries to kill you. But with faith you recover. Yeah. Peel off the makeup. We finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's an art tool. Reflect on all the juice like torture. It's on you, tell the truth.
Yeah, we about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Listen. Yeah, aim in the fit so you see in the mirror. Play with your focus and watch it get clear. Polish your crown, turn it up if you wear it. You live in the root, release what you're fearing. And watch it all rise, the righteous will hear it. They calling us twisted, I'm not even caring. Because it's unseen, the mind is too barren. They won't even heal it, they pass it to cheering. We over here healing, conversing and listening. Know that the truth isn't always appealing, but end it with healing and find your beginning. Frequency positive, what you receiving. Perception is up to you, what you believing. What you retrieving, mentally speaking. Life that they breathing, no words from a heathen. Don't know it all, but together undefeated. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Could fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the tribe with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation, rather want it, you need it. Could fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah, Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the tribe with the students and teachers. All got a voice, we the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen, hey. Yeah. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. We about to have a good conversation. Yeah, let's go. Praying for truth cause the world is so fickle. Keeping my mental how clean as a whistle. Attention's a trap, they can lead you astray. Steering this ship through the storm and the haze. Real conversations are lost in the greed. Others get lost in the web that it weaves. Sift through the rhetoric, uncover schemes. Knowledge inherited, this is imperative. I got a lot on my mind and I'm sharing it. Apples to oranges, it ain't no comparisons. I'm the type that'll never break character. I'm the type to make memories and cherish them. Trust intuition and doubt or disparity. Pursuing the echoes of wisdom. Chasing that moment of clarity. Conversation, rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah or Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. We the ears that'll listen. Conversation, rather one and you need it. Come fill up your tank before it's depleted. Don't care if you calling on Allah or Jesus, Buddha or Christian, not being facetious. Come to the track with the students and
teachers. All got a voice, who the ears that I listen. Who the ears that I listen. We the ears that I listen. Huh?
It's on, you tell the truth.